Hey folks, Lori here, and we had a lovely day in Scotland yesterday. It was 26 degrees Celsius, the sun shone, it was beautiful. So Gavin and I decided that it might be a good idea to come down to one of the holiday camp beaches today to see if any depositors had been out and left anything, which would also give me another chance to do a video that might show off some of the advantages of the smaller coil, excuse me, the SP24 9.5 by 5 inch knocked macro coil. So we've come down to a place called Embo, which is north of the beach that we went to before. The absolutely stunning beach that we went to before is 3 miles down the coast that way, so sort of behind me. And this on the other side of the dunes, just in front of me, is a whole bunch of caravans, and people come here and yeah, from all over the place. So we're out and about. I'm not sure what Gavin's found. He's down the beach a bit. I have come along from over there. I'm hunkered down next to the dune to avoid the wind. I've come along from over there. I've done a little bit up on the top, done a little bit down at the water. I have found a bottle cap and a penny, and not even an old penny. But I am also finding hot rocks, which don't really have so much at Rosemarkie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip you around, and I'm going to take the detector down to this wee bit of sandy stuff down there. You can see, I think it's, oh sorry, there we go, that one. You can see the lines where I've gone up and down, dragging my spade behind me so I know where it is, where I've been. And there's some hot rocks down there, so we'll listen to them in the different modes, and you can get an idea of maybe how to start weeding out hot rocks if that's something you suffer from on your beach. So let's just head down and let's take a listen. Before we head down, let me show you where I've got the Simplex set up. So I have her ground balanced in beach. I have her ground balanced to 0. You may not be able to see that because there's an air bubble, but that is completely 0. That was done in beach mode, which is this one just here, into 0, and then I moved it over to Park 1. I've also been using all metal, not really using beach so much because I want to hear the iron. And pardon the fingernails, I was picking cherries yesterday, so they're a bit stained. My whole fingers are a bit stained, actually. And Park 2 a little bit. I haven't used field at all because we don't really need depth at a beach. At the moment, she's in full sensitivity, but when I move it over to all metal, you'll see that I have also been playing around with my sensitivity because it gets a bit chatty in some places. But as I was walking down to the beach to show you what I wanted to about hot rocks, I've actually come across a signal just here. So we'll let you listen. Right, find it again. Where'd you go? Two-way repeatable, mid-20s, high 20s. Let's dig it and see what it is. Of course, that was the end of a shotgun. But it was a good solid signal, and on this beach, they're few and far between. Right, I'm going to take you over to the hot rocks now. Folks, so here's something that comes up on a beach that can be a bit confusing. So where was it? Here we go. This is a signal that I just swung over, and I thought, oh, stop, listen, check it out, see what it is. And it's very bitsy, but it is jumpy as well. There we go, I'm hitting it right now. So very bitty, very jumpy. I thought, okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it over into all metal. So there we go, over into all metal. You'll notice my sensitivity's come down a bar. All metal says straight away it's a 99, which is something you do not want to dig. So that's a hot rock down there, and that's why it's jumpy and misbehaving. And if we put it into, that's field 1 full sensitivity, sorry, Park 1 full sensitivity. And hear how broken that is. That should be a warning sign. And it can be really difficult when you're desperate to find something to dig because the beach is so quiet, but you'll dig it up, it'll move, it'll change, just don't even bother. I'm going to go and find one where there's actually one exposed out of the sand, and you can see as I go over it what it sounds like. Right, so apologies. The reason we dug that other signal was that there were some wee lads over here and they were doing a bit of rock pooling, so I wanted to give them space and stay away. But I've come back down onto this beach where I said to you, I will turn the camera around and I'll show you where I have dedicated my efforts so you can get an idea of sort of where you might want to be on a beach. And I'm sorry for the dodgy camera work there, my finger's all in it. I'm trying to keep you blocked from the wind. So chicks, let's turn you around. You can see up there, see that little puddly bit and where the sand is darker? That's where things gather. So that's where you want to look. The penny that I found was actually in the end of those rocks just over there. Good solid signal, repeatable just like that cartridge end. But what I want to show you now is this little unassuming little guy there, just a little rock in the sand. But, and you know, if you're a new detectorist, you're not that experienced. Here we go. We'll put it back into part 2. So, but full sensitivity because it's a quiet beach. You know, it's catching it. It's broken, but you just might not know. You just might not know. But we flip her over to, here we are, back into all metal. Not even full sensitivity. No question. That's a hot rock. You don't want it. It jumps a little bit, but you can see it's right over the rock. Right over that rock. And that's what it is. That's a rock that's got a bit of a charge to it, so the detector is picking it up. That's a big one. It's on the surface, but it was really worthwhile for you to hear that. But I'm going to put it into part 2, and we're going to take a little walk up, just so you can hear what she's doing. Now this is full sensitivity. So, nice and quiet. If you were a fisherman, there's plenty of lugworm casts here. You could dig them up, use them for bait. See, those aren't signals. Oh, well, they are signals, but they're not things you want to dig. Especially, you know, when you see at the screen, and there's not really, you know, a solid, repeatable two-way signal. Right. That one. Sorry, I'm trying to hold this and swing so you can actually see. Again, here it's broken and bitty. I dug so many of these when I first started out at the beach because it sounds like a signal, and on a quiet beach you want a signal, and it's just not. I'll put that one over to all metal. Find it again. Look. Right back to 99. No dig. And this is the dark sand. Can you see the sand color difference there? It's dark because, again, that's where things pool. So it sounds good. It's in the right kind of sand. But you can see there's more than one because the rocks also pool here. But if you get a signal like that cartridge end we had, you'll know about it. So I'll bring you back when I get to the next one. You can see that I have covered this very, very carefully. And as I said, I found my coin over there. Gavin is up there in the dunes, digging away, trying to see what people have dropped. But I'll come back to you when I've got another two-way repeatable good signal. Hey folks, this is 18. Oops, let's get spade that way. Let me find it again. There we go. Absolutely unchanging 18. Almost guaranteed. And it fades out that way. But it is two-way repeatable because it's there. Sorry, make sure I get on it. It's there, and there, and there. Actually, it wasn't. That's why I dropped it off, because I lost it. So, we'll wiggle it. We'll see it's not there. It's on that side. It's not up there. Down. So it's quite little. I guarantee you that this is a pop top of some sort. But let's dig it up because it is in this nice little channel. And gold can come in at 18, so can silver hammered. So let's see what it is. Well, here's an odd one. That's what the signal was. And I'll put this down on this rock. Well, I'll put this down on the dirt so you can hear that dirt. Sand, Lori, sand. Pick up the detector. That's exactly what it is. It's, I don't know, I was going to say it's coal or it's coke. But it's, I don't know, it's got some kind of weird inclusions in it, so I'm not really sure what that is. But anyway, that was the signal, ringing up exactly like aluminium. Very odd, not a hot rock. Well, let's go see what else we can find. Hi folks, we got another one in the 30s. You hear that difference? That is just so absolutely a signal. I'm just going to quickly take you up here to something I came across. Now I hope I can find it again. I wasn't going to film it, but since I got that signal I might as well. There it is up there. Right, we're going to come up here, and I was going along. You'll see my track here from where I dragged my spade, so I know what was happening. And just about here I got a signal, and I went, ooh, that's actually, it just caught me. And it sounded a bit good. It sounded better than that because it was actually in the ground, and I went, oh right, okay. Kick. Back to the space, nothing. That rock, look now, I've turned it upside down. It's not reacting. If I turn it this way, maybe it's the angle, there we go. And it reacted really strongly, but now it's not, of course, not going to do it. There we go. You'll just have to take my word for it. It reacted better when it was in the ground, but you can see that is that rock that's reacting, and that's just my point of beware of broken signals, beware of really jumpy signals. If you find something that's a signal on a beach, yes, okay, there'll be people that say, oh, but there's gold and it's deep and it's bitty and it's scratchy, and yes, that's true. And once you're a really experienced detectorist, by all means, dig all of those things. But this channel is more for people that are starting out with a Simplex, starting out with detecting, and just try and give them the best experience possible. And digging up every little scratchy bitty signal that moves and turns out to be a hot rock is not going to get them the love of the hot beam. As to just wait for something that's really strong, really positive, like this one here. Now, it could still be junk, but hear that tone. That is an absolute solid. You have no doubt there is something in there. And you're going to come out with something, not chasing around some silly rock that moves and is bitty and scratchy. So just, that's my advice. But let's dig this out and see what it is. So it's a nasty bit of foil, but you've done your part and you've cleaned it up off the beach. And it is actually something you can instantly put your hands on and go, you know what, that's what the signal was, and not be chasing around a rock. But let's go on, let's try some more of these little bits and pieces and see if we can find something of interest to dig up. It's just part of living in some place that is so stunningly beautiful, but there's just not a lot of people, so there's not a lot of stuff dropped. And we have to hunt it out. So let's go find it. Okay folks, I've caught up with Gavin, and he has his fancy Equinox 800 that costs lots of money and is so much better than my Simplex. But I wanted to see how that thing that read the absolute screaming, you know, solid 18, this weird rock, did on the Nox. Here you go.
It's an absolute solid 1.
It's a 1.
Yep.
So it's almost a negative number, which is iron for you, but
yep.
But it is still reading it, and it's still reading it as a positive number. So would you normally dig a 1, or is that too close to a negative?
I'd dig it just to sort of see what it was.
To learn.
Obviously it's in that, yeah, I mean it's not that absolutely iron.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's good to just dig these to actually find out, you know, what they are.
Yeah.
Because once again, it's only by digging all these sort of signals that you get the opportunity to actually, you know, increase your knowledge. Yeah,
absolutely. So that's interesting. I wasn't sure because I have had the Nox on a different beach around here that had coke on it, and it couldn't see the coke at all. It just ignored it, but it's not ignoring this. So it's not coke. There may be some piece of aluminium in the middle of that. It may have something concreted around the outside core of aluminium, but then aluminium isn't a 1 on a Nox, is it? No. So it's an anomaly. It's a very strange thing, but
aluminium would be, just trying to think, probably more up around the mid-teens.
The mid-teens. So same as the Simplex then, strangely. But yeah, it is actually picking it up, and it would read it. So you got your 900-pound machine, you have your 250-pound machine, and they're both calling it a solid signal. The Knox is saying it's a little bit closer to iron, so it's a bit more of a do you want to, whereas that's saying it's an 18, which normally is aluminium, but can be gold or silver hammered. But it's a blob of black rock.
Yes, is that what the Simplex is bringing it up with out of the ground?
Yes.
All right.
Well, in the ground and out the ground.
All right,
It hasn't changed.
All right.
So very strange. One of those joys of metal detecting. But we're going to go off and see if we can actually find something, because Gavin's found lots of bottle tops up in the dunes. He's been up there right on the dry sand line.
Found spendable money as well.
You found spendable money? How
Yeah,
much
yeah.
spendable money?
I found a £1 coin and a 50p piece.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
We can get an ice cream and share it between us.
Yeah.
That's about it. And I've got a penny, so we have a £1.51 for our trip. But the sun is sort of thinking about coming out, and it's, you know, it's stunningly beautiful to come out here and stand on the beach and play around with the metal detector and learn our machines and learn what we're doing. And it's a beautiful day, and it's a shame that the sun isn't come out a bit more. It's supposed to be 21 today. I did wear the bikini, but I don't know that it's going to get a show because it's just still a bit too grey for me. But yeah, if we can actually find something worth digging again on these bits down here, then I'll come back to you.